9th March 26. I have to make a new video because I made a mistake in the first version. So let's talk a bit about T.Carlson claims and what's going on in Iran. And then what is Islam? And what is diversity? So, T.Carlson, I mean, we have known for some time that he's paid by Qatar and obviously also now by somebody else. It looks that he's also paid by the regime. His claims are quite, it's not funny. I mean, it would be funny if not thousands of people would die because of his claims. So his newest invention is, I'll reveal now a secret. Chabad is behind the war in Iran. Of course, he doesn't know what Chabad is. And also, I saw also this anti-Chabad ideology on Twitter accounts of Saudi Arabians. I didn't comment on it because it's completely useless. So, first of all, Ashkenazi Jews are a minority in among the whole Jewish people, and Hasidic Jews are a tiny minority in Ashkenazi Jews. And there are actually quite few of them. And Chabad is just one Hasidic group that was, I think, founded in the 19th century in the Russian Empire. Because of persecution, so pogroms, and then also the Shoah, they had to flee, and the main headquarters of Rabbi Schneerson lived in New York. And like all Jews, they are not interested to convert non-Jews. Jews don't convert others. Okay? This doesn't exist in Judaism, conversion. Conversion exists, but if you want to convert to Judaism, you have to convince a rabbi, and it takes some time and to be allowed to convert, and you have to study. So Chabad is only concerned with Jewish people. I personally don't like them, though I know many Chabadnikim. But they are not concerned with non-Jews. And also the Saudis on Twitter, who were suddenly against Chabad, they don't know anything about them, of course, claimed this is now, because there's Chabad now in Saudi Arabia, they claim now this is occupation. It's turning around, right? Islam has the idea of conquering the world, and they think the Jews also have that we don't have that, doesn't occur to them. So you mean that all Iranians, around 90 million people, are suddenly all Chabadnikim who want to go back to the Chabad religion and not be freed from a suppressive regime that occupied them, mass raped them, and murdered them? Yes, of course. 90 million Chabadnikim in Iran. And that's why there is a war. The Iranians have tried many uprisings since the 80s, and they've tried to get rid of this regime because it's a suppressive regime, and especially against women. This has nothing to do with Chabad. It's ridiculous, right? And what T.Carlson also put out was that Saudi Arabia and Qatar arrested Mossad agents. So all these people, these Islamists and their Jihad friends in the left, are completely obsessed with the Mossad. The Mossad. Oh my God, the Mossad. It's completely ridiculous. Yeah? So, yeah, and he put out, it's not reported anywhere, but I tell you the truth now. That's how he is. So he reported that Qatar and Saudi Arabia arrested Mossad agents who entered these two countries to lay bombs. Yeah, to bomb. Even Qatar said, no, we didn't do that. We didn't arrest any Mossad agents. No. Funny, right? So here's a complete invention. And streamer, what's his name? Streamer, it doesn't matter. He will be in history books as the worst prime minister of the UK. And of course, King Charles will be reported as the last king, because he's unbearable for the British people. A king that doesn't stand by his people, and a people of a king or a queen are the natives and not weird immigrants. And a royal family who supports Islamism and Islamization of his country doesn't stand by his people. This is a royal family who just watches the destruction of the country. It's also the same with the Netherlands, Sweden. These are all monarchies, by the way. Belgium is a monarchy. It's all destructive. And the many British people who also say this will be the last king. We have enough of this royal family. They don't stand by us. They stand by Islamization. And as well as Charles, King Charles, and the Prime Minister want to end the war in Iran. The war in Iran ends when the regime is removed, and not one day before that. And why? Because this is a rescue mission. The Iranian people have been slaughtered by the regime, not only in the last 2 months, even before, since 1979. I made a video on how that all happened, the history behind it, when it started, this red-green alliance, starting in the 1920s. The funny thing is, in this time, in this time it was the Soviet Union who installed communism in Iran and infiltrated the country with left-wing ideologies. You have that, that's why it's always important, that's why I also say to the commentators and analysts of the Middle East, and like from the UAE or from Morocco or whatever, you have to understand also this left-wing ideology, this European political history. By the way, the bombings of Iranian oil refineries are done by the US. The Israeli and the whole Tehran was on fire, smoke, and but it doesn't look like Israelis. The Israelis fight also now in the same time Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Lebanese army is also now putting up a fight against Hezbollah, which is good because it will liberate Lebanon also from Islam. And the UAE last week declared that they support Lebanon, but interesting enough, they never support Israel. But Israel is doing, of course, the main fight against Hezbollah. And what else? The Iranian women's soccer team played now in Australia, and they protested against the national anthem. And now they're, of course, in danger, so there were now protests that Australia will take them, because the Iranian regime threatened them that they will be executed when they come back. So, of course, they don't want to go back because they're in danger. So, and Trump already said, even either Australia takes them or the US will take them, at least till the regime is removed. I hope it doesn't take that long anymore. I want to talk about also Islamization. I mean, some people still haven't gotten it. And there was now in Canada Muslims and left wings screamed death, burned the American flag and the Israeli flag, screamed death to America, death to Canada, death to Israel, death to the West, and for the destruction of Western civilization. Why this is allowed is not clear to me. I saw also a video now. Muslim immigrants in Germany were interviewed, and they also said in German, when they're in the majority, they will impose Sharia law on everybody, and they will take over Germany because this is their duty to Allah. I've, not only me, all experts on Islam and the Middle East have warned. I personally have warned the Europeans for 25 years. It's time that you start to listen. This is not diversity. Diversity means that there are different people in the world, different cultures, different beliefs, different religions, different customs, and this is the beauty in our world. Islam doesn't want diversity. They want to conquer us all and turn them into them. This is a destruction program. This is the anti-diversity program. But the left wing are exactly the same. They don't want diversity because they don't even want themselves. They don't want their own culture. Many of them are even they're white and they're anti-white. How can you be anti-white when you're white yourself? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and yesterday was the International Women's Day. I always say, if we women were equal and had equal rights, we wouldn't need a Women's Day. We are treated like a minority. We have minority rights. Oh, thank you. We are not minorities. We are actually the majority in the world. Women are, in fact, the majority and not a minority. And it's time, it's high time that women stand up in the world and say, listen. But the left-wing women don't stand up for other women. They support rapists in Gaza, they support rapists in Iran, they support rapists everywhere, and Islamic sex trade, and child rape. This is not humanitarian. This is not a stand for human rights. And if you put out that everything is the Jews' fault, listen, do you have something new? Can you invent something new? This is ridiculous. We heard it already since the Roman Empire became Christian. This is invent something new. It gets boring, honestly. So I want to show you also how the regime is. The regime, the left wing support. I wanted to look it up, what I wanted to show you, but I've got something completely crazy now, also from Radio Genoa, which is a reliable channel. Westminster Hall becomes a mosque. Video. Islamic prayer with the UK Prime Minister in Westminster Hall. This is called Islamization. I don't know what's wrong with this British government. I can't tell you. Okay, there's something new. This time from the Islamist Erdogan. The Erdogan, several videos ago, even read something a Turk wrote to me where he justified the genocide on Kurds. The Erdogan regime has committed a genocide on Kurdish people since, I think, at least 2 years. Also in Syria and Iraq, not only in Kurdistan. And now, I quote, Turkish President Erdogan, no one should make miscalculations. No one should fall into the trap of the Zionist massacre network that seeks to pit brother against brother. We welcome the statements made by our brothers in Iraqi Kurdish region and sincerely believe that they will not fall for this game. Because the Kurds, I stated that in my last video about the Parashat Kitise, the Kurds have entered also Irani Kurdistan, so also from other Kurdish regions, in a fight against the Iranian regime, because they also know what it means to be under the Iranian regime. So the Kurdish, so the Kurds also fight now against the regime in Iran, and suddenly Erdogan, who massacres, who genocides the Kurds, also in Iraq, tells the Kurds in Iraq they shouldn't fall for the bad Zionists because the Zionists are massacres. This is the old game, right? We commit the crimes, but it's the Jews. You know, the blood libels. For example, about the matzah, was something that was necessary and Catholic Christianity, because I studied Jewish studies, so this is really something really disgusting. I don't know if people from the Muslim world know this, but I know that the Muslim world adopted this idea: Jews need children's blood for their matzot, that matzots are white and everything you make out of blood is black. Like there's an Austrian speciality, it's called Blunzen. It's made of pig's blood. And it's a sausage and it's black, of course. Everything you make out of blood is black. And the blood libel in Christian Europe, it's still, you are all holding to the moon. The left wing and the Muslims, you are holding to the moon. You are not educated people who entered the 21st century. You're still holding to the moon, and you still think and believe in demons and monsters. Yeah? Enter the 21st century. Yeah? So, what they did? So, Catholic Christianity forbade all this natural reproduction control, not only abortion, also other natural means of to control pregnancy, yeah? Because they suppressed women. So then they didn't allow even condoms. Condoms were already in use in antiquity, yeah? And all kinds of natural birth control and pregnancy control. So that was all forbidden in Christianity. So in Christian Europe, what happened? The people had too many children because women were outlawed. They had no rights over their own bodies, like in Islam now. And so what happened? They got children and children, more children that they could afford. So what to do? So some people sold their surplus children to gypsies, give them money. So if you wonder why they are also blonde and blue-eyed gypsies, it's because of that. And some killed their children because they didn't know what to do, and smuggled them, on Pesach, Seder evening, The Christians knew that the Jews had the open door policy. So everyone who knocked on the door on a Seder evening and said, "I'm hungry," was invited at the table, to eat there. And then they smuggled the dead bodies of their own children into a Jewish home, and later ate and drank there, raised the alarm, and later raised the alarm to the police that the Jews killed children. And that caused pogroms. And now I give a report from Lisa Rosen. She's one of the reliable resources. If you still think this regime is also in any way okay, but tell me more about your stand up for humanitarian rights, right? I quote, "It is not gay if the prisoners bleed and faint from the pain." Iran's Ayatollah issued a ruling obliging regime agents to rape male prisoners and inflict unbearable pain to avoid homosexuality charges. Happened, by the way, also to the male Israeli hostages. The ruling requires rape by several male agents to ensure the victim does not enjoy it, bleeds and suffers. In 2009, after the disputed election, amid reports of prison rape and torture, Ayatollah Muhammad Taqi Mesbah Yazdi ordered the IRGC and morality police to rape female prisoners for pain, trauma, and discipline. Laws instructed agents to satisfy themselves and Allah vaginally or anally, preferably without witnesses, after washing and prayer rituals. And this also, the terrorists in Gaza filmed themselves praying and raping. And the whole Jewish world, because we are humans, have humanity, asked, to what God do Muslims pray? To what God do you pray? This is not a God. And if you wondered why I said that there is a mosque on the Temple Mount, is a desecration of our Temple Mount, is because this is not the same God. If you pray and rape, then you have no God in the world. This is not a God. And I don't give a fucking damn what you say. By the way, Ayatollah Khomeini already said, yeah, you can also rape 4-year-old children. It's all good, and you should rape female prisoners before they get executed, because then they don't go to heaven. This is not a God. And I also, and you have that all over Europe, Australia, US, Canada, everywhere. They scream Allah Akbar, and then they rape. Allah Akbar, and then they kill. Allah Akbar, and then they kill. This is not a God. And I've read many books about history of different religions, also religions who don't exist anymore, the Celtic religion, the Romans, the Greeks, Hinduistic religions, whatever, Yoruba, and so forth. And I read now a book by Cicero. Yeah, Cicero. It's a discussion, the nature of gods. There's one thing clear. There have never existed gods or goddesses who are anti-life or who permit rape, the suppression of women, or the rape or cruelty and torture to women, children, or men. That doesn't exist. If you claim that this is the God you have, then you don't have a God. You are not religious people. The only thing where that also exists is in satanistic cults. And what Islam shows to the world is satanistic cult. This is the only parallel that also exists that does the same like Islam. I know that there are also Muslims who are not like that. I know that. But look at, I know, for example, that all these people from the Emirates claim that they are so open-minded. And then you watched, last week they all were bombed. Israel is still bombed. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iraq, also Turkey, actually everybody. Yeah. The Emirati activists on Twitter were, expressed their solidarity only with the other Arab or Muslim countries, not with Israel. And they all hold on this terror project called Palestine. So I don't believe a word they say. Yeah? Just say. But you can watch all my videos also in the past. The ones I did 23 and 24. I don't believe a word they are saying. So I go on. So, washing and prayer rituals. I'm sure that helps you with your sins. Yeah? I go on with the quote. For male prisoners, rape is permissible, dedicated to Allah, and formed with other agents who ensure no enjoyment to avoid sin. It must cause maximum pain, often leading to severe injury or death. These practices are common in Iran's prisons, including Karisak and Evin, per reports and testimonies. Now tell me what kind of religion that should be. This is a quote from Khomeini. Female prisoners who are virgins must be raped before execution to prevent them from entering heaven. Next post, it's super new. It's from Goldie Gamari. Gamari. She is a Persian activist. She has a new post with a video also that proves it. A quote, mosques in occupied Iran are handing out weapons to their followers. When I tell you that mosques in occupied Iran are hubs for terrorism and should be destroyed, this is what I'm talking about. Bomb them, burn them down, free Iran from Muslim Nazi occupation. We stay in because it's one day after the International Women's Day. A quote now from Yuval Shavit. She was as a survivor from this Nova music festival in Israel that was destroyed by terrorists, and it was not only Hamas. I quote by her. The girl who was injured in the car next to me was dragged out by the terrorists. She begged the person in the car with her to help her, but he was trapped. she started screaming that they were ripping her clothes off. There were 3 terrorists. They raped her. I've never heard screams like that in my life. And the terrorists sounded like they were drinking a cocktail at the beach. When they finished, they fired an RPG at her car and burned her. After everything she went through, she was burned alive. This is Islam. I'm sorry. And the whole Islamic world and the whole UN and all left wings support that. Also, the UAE government, they support these Palestinian terrorists. And the only way to stop that is the alliance between Israel and Iran, because that destroys the power of Islam. But I was looking. The next post is from the Israeli Foreign Ministry with a video of the missile attacks on Jerusalem on the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Yeah, I wanted to say the Al-Aqsa Mosque mentioned in the Quran is in Saudi Arabia, and the one built in Jerusalem is built several hundred years later. And the funny thing is, I said it in a previous video, that Qatar pays for not only for the BBC but also for pays also Wikipedia. But I said it in a video 2 weeks ago, and that Hamas started to teach people to write Wikipedia posts. Last week, Thursday, I wanted to find out where the real Al-Aqsa Mosque is, in which town in Saudi Arabia, and when it was built. And then I wanted to find when the one in Jerusalem was built. It's not possible anymore. No, it's already completely infiltrated. You don't find it anymore. I will try to find out in the library of the Oriental section of the Hungarian Academy of Science, because this will be the only source. So, but when I saw that, I said, okay, now we have to prove, because it was not always like that. Till, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, 6-7 years ago more, Wikipedia was not a bad source. But the Iranian regime launches missiles at Jerusalem, at the Western Wall, at the fake Al-Aqsa Mosque, so the one in Jerusalem, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Of course, it doesn't matter for the Iranian regime. A bit about Islamization. Now the US. Dr. Malouf is also a reliable source, also with a video. This is an Islamic scholar in California. His name is Uthman Farouk. He has a message to the Americans. He also looks like he is a scholar. A scholar is for me somebody else. Quotation from this guy: "No one can stop Islam in America. This is not your country, this is our country. This is the land of Allah. If you want to live in a place with no Muslims, I suggest you go to hell." I think hell is living with Muslims. I'm sorry. This is real hell. Oh, by the way, the new Ayatollah in Iran is the son of Khamenei. It's Mojtaba Khamenei. There are reports already that he was critically injured by an attack, but it's not confirmed yet. So doesn't make sense to put it out now. We always hope for the best. This is was also posted by the Israeli Foreign Minister. It's a video Iranian regime clerics in military uniforms. Of course, they wouldn't fight. No, it's like the Chabad chiefs. They sit when they sat in Doha in the luxury hotels. They call the people of Iran trash. We will not allow the trash of the United States and Israel to take to the streets. Then death to the rioters. Then they all scream, gathering, death to the rioters. We are at war. We are at war if anyone tries to get out into the streets to protest. They will be treated like a Zionist soldier. Their blood is permitted. This is how they think of the people they occupy. That they are trash and they are allowed to slaughter them. This is the regime in Iran, rape all prisoners so that they even bleed to death, women and men alike. You can also rape children in kindergarten age. This is what the left wing and all jihadists support, and the whole UN. And of course also people, left-wing politicians like Starmer, Sanchez, or Kamala Harris, or T.Carlson, Owens, and whatever. And of course, these are the same people who do the terror against Israelis. If you think Hamas, Islamic Jihad, PLO, Fatah, and all how they are called are better, no? Hezbollah is the same. Al-Qaeda, the same. ISIS, the same. There's no difference. All these people who come to Europe is for jihad. They are not refugees. And everyone, also every journalist who lies for them, reports their lies as facts, is complies. It's not, he is an assessor to the crime of the destruction of our world. It's not again, I mean, you can hate Jews as much as you want, but do you also hate yourself and your children? This is something I don't understand. Goodbye.